Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, BC in the building. How are you?
I'm doing great and amazing. I must add my amazing, my special amazing. I take ownership of the word. I'm doing good. Everybody's getting ready for International Women's Day. I'm going to be hosting on my platform. There's this plan to help women get mortgages to be able to own their own homes and houses, and you can pay for as long as 30 years. I'm going to be hosting the cooperative bank that is in charge on Monday. So it's like a question and answer. I'm going to be taking their questions. They will give the answer so that the public can see, and women who want to be empowered can be a part of it. So we're all getting ready.
That day is packed also for a lot of women.
Yeah.
I have 4 events, and even I want to spare myself. 10 o'clock. I think I've handed over one to. Two online, two physical.
Wow.
So TBC is having a program.
Yeah.
Yes, that same day.
I can't do TBC. I have to shank. Sorry. But TBC is an important. No. TBC's program is extremely important because we're launching women's network, and the idea is to help mentor younger women in media and have them have role models within the industry, and then have that network of women who are helping each other in the industry. So TBC is launching that on Monday, and we're pretty excited about that. So we're all going to be there. I know that FIRC also invited me to host. They're having the Women in Uniform event.
Oh, that should be interesting.
Fantastic, yeah. Then the Honorable Pella has an NGO he's working with, and he would like me to also be there to talk with the women, also women empowerment, and praise for where in the evening.
Yeah,
also,
I saw that flyer.
I'm also going to be there. So it's
you alone.
Invite yourself.
Monday. But that's the beauty with that, because of what we do here. You want us to be part of their platform, which is great. So I'm really honored to be invited to these events, and hope we have a fantastic day. How are you doing, Tokwe?
I'm very good. Grateful to God for life. Grateful to God for impact, ability to be a blessing, and it's the fulfillment of being able to earn a living while impacting positively on people's lives, because the feedback is phenomenal. Someone was just telling me how my little family that watch you on the show, and now we're able to make wise investments because you guide. And I just advised. He had money. I said, okay, put this here, put it here. It wasn't really about even investing with me personally at all, but I just guided where he should put the money, and he was not thinking of it. I was telling him that, see, I've been telling you to reach out to Tokwe, that she would tell you what to do, and I'm guiding him into launching his own business because he's been working somewhere he's unhappy with, and I just feel so blessed about it.
I think Tokwe does this thing very well.
Yeah, she does.
Business advice.
Yeah.
I know you're doing a lot of things right now, but at some point...
No, but I found a way to marry it.
Yeah.
It's perfect. The investment club I have is just like I teach them on investment and I help them to invest. So it's just like a perfect marriage.
I think it's really good. So well done. Congrats. And we've seen Tokwe grow.
We have come a long way.
The story is plenty. We've seen Tokwe grow. And
Tokwe
you've really morphed into this professional, and it's really good. We're happy for you.
Into this guru.
How are you doing, Mariam?
I'm doing fine. I'm great. I'm doing well.
I really wish you could stand up for us to see what you're wearing. But it's just that...
so lovely.
They will not capture it.
It's really,
but it's really fine.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's lovely.
It's very Mariam.
Outfit.
I was myself, hey, Mariam, but this is you. We love it like you are.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think I should just talk about Lifestyle with ML challenge. So we've been doing this 100 squats a day challenge. And when I started, I could only do like maybe 10 to 20. And eventually, I'm able to do 100 a day. Great. But what really moved me was someone sent a message and said, she's not a member or anything, but she's just been watching, because I tend not to want to put everything out on social media, So, but this time around, I said, okay, let me do it. We're doing the community. Let me also say it on social media. And people have been sending messages like, well, because you're doing it, we're doing it too. I'm like, okay, maybe you should speak out more often. So,
yeah, I think we all need to.
I'll join you guys next week.
Yeah.
Still recuperating.
Okay.
What are you squats?
Nice squats now, you know now.
Yeah, I cannot squat. They've tied this my leg. My squats, I'm going to cut one leg ligaments. Let me just be doing small things.
But there are other ways that
I can squat. Because when I squat, I need to stretch out the right leg. I can't squat this one. I can squat the left. I can't squat the right. But you know what?
You know your body and you stay healthy. And I think that's what counts.
And then I think, Mariah, you should pick up like stretching exercises like Pilates and things
I need that one. That stretching is important for me, definitely. But I think we're all using our platforms very well. I think it's important because the truth is that we have to impact. And people are actually being impacted by what we're doing in different ways. Okay, let's go on a quick break. Now, before we forget, commemorating the 2021 International Women's Day, we are asking Dare to Challenge. So send us your videos and hashtag YourViewTVC, hashtag Dare to Challenge, and hashtag Choose to Challenge, actually. Hashtag Choose to Challenge. That's what you should hashtag. Send the videos so we can see it and then share. All right, let's go on a break now. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
With the Punch, Buhari or Shimbajo for vaccination Saturday. Exercise begins today. Picture here of Myanmar migrants living in Thailand during a memorial in Bangkok to honor those who died against the military coup. Police to arraign Pretty Mike for Cubana Club operations. Gridlock persists as truck returns to Apapa roads. Lagos Chinese investors sign an agreement on automobile assembly plant. 5 arrested with fake COVID-19 certificates in Lagos airport. Senate queries 55 vehicles allegedly missing from federal ministry, and all soars above $67. Nigeria earns additional 318 billion naira per month. Right. The major headline, please.
Yes, so they will have a launch of the vaccination that will happen tomorrow at National Hospital in Abuja. And afterwards on Saturday, the president and the vice president will be vaccinated.
Yeah.
They are also saying, they started a meeting yesterday where they wanted to, determine the amount of vaccines that will go to different states. They're still working on the numbers. They're waiting for a compilation of the health workers across the states to be able to determine what to send to which states. And they are advising that states that are not ready, there are certain criteria some states must meet before they get the vaccines. Will not get vaccines if they don't meet those criteria. One of them is that they have to secure the cold room where they are supposed to keep the vaccine. So, and afterwards, the governors also will now have to take vaccines. Vaccines will be shipped to the states on Monday, and they will take it publicly so that we'll see, and I encourage to take
you see first that nothing happens to them. And once you see, then those of us that are registered will follow.
Please don't take the COVID-19 story.
Okay, go ahead.
So apparently, people are buying COVID-19 negative tests at the airport. Wow. Five such tests was discovered. They were able to arrest 3 of them, 2 are at large. A man said that somebody propositioned him at the airport that I can help you procure a fake negative COVID-19 test. We are still in a pandemic worldwide. Let us help ourselves. It is not everywhere you should apply your corruption. We know that corruption is in your some of you's DNA. Please just go and get tested and be sure you are negative before going to carry your own and infect somebody else.
All right,
so our short-lived victory in the Apapa area has, were really sad. Finally, is it finally or unfortunately, the trucks and the drivers are back to parking indiscriminately on the road and blocking everywhere. And it's really sad because it just seems as if the call-up system that they had put in place, either someone is not following it up or the drivers themselves have decided not to just, do what is right. And everybody is on lockdown in that area. The governor had once before, said that he knows the big prominent people who are behind the collapse of this electronic call-up system, and he may name them. I hope he does.
Let me quote the special advisor to the governor on transportation. He said, "Our enforcement strategy is gradual. We have been cleaning up on the other side of the axis at Area B, Ijora, into Nigerian Ports Authority. We're moving gradually to other areas in Mile 2N and the environs, and they've already impounded that 200 trucks, and they're all going to pay a fine. They're right now at the Last Mile Park. So they'll pay a fine before they are released because they're taking this thing very, very seriously. So yes, they flouted it, but the government is also responding, which is a good thing. Moving on now to the nation. Governor ACF back order to shoot bandits with AK-47. SANS are faulting presidential directive. Buhari, Oshimbajo governor, set to take the COVID-19 vaccine jabs this weekend. Lagos ride begins with 1,000 SUVs. Border towns join smugglers to attack our men, says Customs CG. Okay, which story are we taking? The AK-47?
Lagos State. Yes. So Lagos State Government and Choice International Group, CIG Motors, yesterday rolled out 1,000 SUVs for taxis for Lagos residents. Now, these vehicles will be given to taxi drivers, and they have a chance to pay back in a couple of years. Okay. So they'll be paying monthly, which is yes, higher purchase. When they are done with the payment, then they can own the vehicles. This is one of the plan of Lagos State to ensure that we all have access to good transportation, and there's a choice for us. We can choose. They also signed an agreement to have like an assembly plant where in 10 to 12 months they can be rolling out cars already. This is major. This is good. Well done, Sanwo-Olu.
Okay, there was going to. Yes, please.
So, Governor Ortom of Benue State and the Arewa Consultative Forum are agreeing with the president on the order to shoot on sight anybody who's caught with an AK-47. And he's saying that really an AK-47 is such a powerful weapon. Not anyone is not allowed to just pick it up. And that even the Dane guns that you're allowed to use, you have to be licensed. You have to have a license for that. And then he called out the haters, that when he was telling President Buhari about this, some people were hating and calling him all sorts of names. But now the president has finally agreed with him. And, you know, so
in addition to that, so our learned colleagues, the sons, are saying, no, it is very wrong for the president to give that kind of directive. According to them, it is illegal. That how do you just shoot somebody with an AK-47 without a proper going through the courts?
Really?
But they also understand that the issue of the insecurity, and they understand that they do need drastic measures. However, we shouldn't go outside the rule of law.
The Afenifere Renewal Group has also urged caution. It says there are unintended consequences that could happen from this blanket order. You know, so
the Colonel Ahmed Ali from the Customs, speaking to the House Committee on Custom, mentioned that the committees of borders, the communities within our border communities are housing and supporting smugglers. He said that our border community is too large from Badagry all the way to Udom, and that the northeast is largely uncovered. And they found out that some of these communities have never had any impact of government, that it is customs that are putting boreholes and power and clinics in those areas. So their allegiance is more to the smugglers who tend to tip them off than the government officials itself. So it's encouraging that the government needs to put in infrastructures within border community and relate with them so they will have more loyalty to government than to smugglers.
Final paper, Daily Trust, very quickly. Senate names sponsors of terrorism and banditry. 2023, Igbo begins lobbying for Southeast presidency. Impeached Ogun deputy speaker heads for court. Which story are we taking? They said they didn't really name anybody. They said it was only, according to the Senate, said that drug barons are the ones that actually fund the bandits and this, and but they didn't say anything.
That was basically all. So they're just asking that, please, can we take Vanguard to? There's a very important story there. But this one, they were just asking that the NDLA needs to, rejig and restructure the system so that they can get more of this.
So Zamfara has a drug problem.
A drug problem.
Okay, let me run to Vanguard. Let's find the story. Niger Delta Group's fume over recruitment at PFT. Is that the story you want to take?
Yes, that's the story I want to take. So the Niger Delta Non-Violence Agitators Forum, NDNAF, they are protesting the alleged marginalization and alienation of Niger Deltans by the Petroleum Equalization Fund, that's PEF, in their last recruitment. So what happened was that out of the 200 persons that they recruited, only 17 came from the Niger Delta, and the rest were from non-oil producing states. Now, in Abia, they had one candidate, Akwa Ibom 2, Bayelsa 4, Cross River 2, Delta 3, Edo 0, Imo 3, Ondo 0, and Rivers 2. Now, for the non-oil producing states, such as Adamawa, they had 16 persons, Bauchi 9, Borno 13, Kano 19, Katsina 14. And they are complaining and saying this is one of the reasons that they complain that there's always marginalization of the Niger Delta people who are actually being ruined by all of the oil exploration in their place. Now, if they can't even have a chance or a seat at the table, what are we talking about? So they've written to that organization, and they are hoping that they are responded to.
All right, on that note, we end this segment. We have to run up now. When we come back, we move on to speak with the Executive Governor of Kogi State. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, join us to discuss the state of the nation and governance in Kogi State is His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello Adoza. Good morning, sir. Are you there, Governor Yahaya Bello?
Good morning to you all in the studio, and good morning to viewers in Nigeria and around the world.
Yes, good to have you on the show, sir. Right. So, sir, let me start first with your meeting that you had recently concerning the blockade of the unions bringing foodstuff down south. I had seen a video by Chief Fanika Ode expressing his gratitude to your intervention and how you're able to bring the unions together to upturn their initial plans of stopping food to the south. Tell me exactly what that meeting entailed and what was the decisions that was made at that meeting.
Thank you very much. Let me just lay a little background to what culminated into the meeting with the Amalgamated Union of Foodstuff and Cattle Dealers Association of Nigeria. These are ordinary Nigerians who, out of their personal sweat, pulled together resources to carry on the business of trading on foodstuff and livestock, transporting them from one part of the country to another, particularly from the northern part to the southern part. They have membership cut across the 36 states plus FCT, all the 774 local governments across the country. The membership cut across ethnic background, religious background, or political parties. And they've been carrying on this business of trading from time immemorial. But unfortunately, the incident of the NSAS and the recent SASA market skirmishes brought about the recent industrial action, or let me say strike. These people transport goods and services across the country, and they've been faced with a lot of challenges. Challenges of insecurity, challenges of extortion by some law enforcement agencies and touts along the federal highways, challenges of bad roads and infrastructure, and several others. And these people now face man-made crises, NSAS and the SASA carnage. They've written severally to various authorities, from communities to local governments, to states, to the federal government, to all law enforcement agencies, to organizations, to unions, to traditional rulers, to the religious leaders, all across the country, pointing out the injustice they faced. That these their members across the country are carrying on these businesses lawfully. They pay taxes at the point of loading, they pay taxes at the point of loading. So, and they seems not to hear anybody responding to them. All their cries fell on deaf ears. And hence, the only option, legal and lawful option to them, is to down tools. And that was resulting into a major catastrophe in this country. A unit of goat or ram that ordinarily should sell for 100 or 200,000 naira is already going as high as 700, even 1 million. Just one, not ram. I mean, not cow, but goat. Tomato that should ordinarily sell for 50 naira is already going as high as 300 and above. in the down southern part of the country. People are beginning to suffer from ordinary food. Meanwhile, it is abound in the northern part, and they'll be perishing. Now, if this were to allow to linger on without anybody attending to them at all, then it will amount to a major crisis in the country. Not only food crisis, it will amount to serious civil unrest. In fact, it is even getting to a point where it is already emotions are being built up, pent up, that it is assumed as if the Hausa Fulanis are being targeted in the south and being killed. Because actually, they are major in transporting those goods and services from far north to down south. Their trucks, their trailers, their goods are being destroyed. And these are people that are carrying on their legal businesses. Their people, their members were killed in their hundreds, massacred. These are lawful, ordinary Nigerians carrying on their lawful businesses.
Right. Okay.
Yes, I know there is a pent-up anger regarding the issue of some criminals in the bush that are, committing one criminality or the other. Now, what is happening is that even in the far north, the youths are already getting agitated to carry out certain reprisals and what have you. And if we allow it to continue to linger on, it can snowball into a major catastrophe in the country. We have to now quickly wade in.
Right.
Myself, Chief Femi Fani Kayode, Alhaji May Agogo, that is Sarki Yakin Baba Buhari, and Alhaji Sharif. We quickly wade in into this particular matter to resolve it. So this is exactly what brought us into the matter.
Yes. Yeah. Your Excellency, thank you for laying out exactly what the consequences of this would have been for everyone in Nigeria, because there was a point where it seemed that only one side would suffer and everyone else would move on. But could you give us exactly what the resolutions you came to with the union and the traders, and why you're positive that these things will be better going forward?
Thank you very much. Straight to the answer, they have very simple demands. One, that those their members that were killed unjustly, the extrajudicial killings, the massacre, the destruction of lives and livelihoods that were carried out on their members, there should be compensation for their livelihoods, and there should be justice for those that were killed. Very simple demand. Also, that the extortion of their members, you wouldn't imagine that a trailer, if you take a hire of a trailer for goods and services, for goods specifically, from Mubi, for instance, aside the bad roads that they have to take a longer route, some of the cows we see in Lagos and other parts of the down south would have taken days or weeks before it gets down to the south. Sometimes they will have to stop up to 3 or 4 times, because these are, living things, the cows. They will offload them somewhere to graze, to eat, to refresh, drink water, load them again, and sometimes they do that 5 times before they get to Lagos. But along the line, they are stopped to extort. So if you charter a vehicle for, say, 300,000 or 400,000, the trailers would have to set aside additional 450,000 to 500,000 to settle some law enforcement agencies on the road and touts along the road, especially down to the side of the east and to the south. So this extortion is really, really, telling hard on them.
Right.
They are demanding that this extortion should be stopped.
Okay.
They are ready to pay any tax whatsoever. And even there is an agreement between the union and the federal government where it has been gazetted, and they are paying those taxes. So if those extortions can be stopped,
right?
I mean, this is their simple demand. There's nothing. There's no two hard ways. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Governor Yahaya Bello.
And also, please permit me. And also that this is a Nigeria. The angle of saying they are not free to trade in the down south or any part of the country If they are going, there's a lot of harassment. That if Nigeria is no longer one, they should be given passports so that if they are entering another land, they will know what they are facing. They are trading within the country. So that safety and security of their lives and livelihood in every part of the country should be guaranteed. These are the simple demands.
Let me go on a quick break, sir. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have the Executive Governor of Kogi State with us, Governor Yahaya Bello. Yes, BC had a question for the break.
Okay, Governor, I wanted to know the time frame that you agreed to see some of these resolutions come to bear, because we know the way we are in this country. Most times we set out to have policies and guidelines, and then the implementation becomes a problem. So did you people arrive at a time frame that you will see all of the resolutions come to bear? And secondly, what are the exact steps that you have outlined to see that the extortions on the road stop for these traders?
Thank you very much. First, they believe in my integrity. Okay. They believe that whatever I set out to achieve, I achieve it 100%. They believe in my leadership style and quality. Ordinarily, they would have given time, more conditions, and wait till it begins to implement its implementation. Because they believe in the person they are negotiating with, or at least that is mediating. And they equally believe that when their demands are brought before Mr. President will graciously attend to them. I was able to convince them, or we were able to convince them, that they called off the strike. So first, there's no time given, no ultimatum given before they could call off their strike. Simply believing in our leadership and believing in Mr. President.
Right.
That is trust. And we are not going to betray that trust. And on the part of Mr. President and other law enforcement agencies, I have presented the matter before Mr. President yesterday in the presence of the Chief of Staff to Mr. President, Ambassador Gambari. And Mr. President was very concerned about the plight of these ordinary Nigerians. He is so concerned about that. And he has promised to start implementation immediately, especially calling on law enforcement agencies to stop the extortion and even provide security for them along the road and where they carry on their businesses.
Right.
That I am taking to the Inspector General of Police. Mr. President equally directed that I meet with the Inspector General of Police and other law enforcement agencies to ensure that the lives and livelihoods of these ordinary Nigerians are protected. Right. And that was where he further emphasized that the unity of this country is unnegotiable. Okay. And we are on the path to ensure that it is everything is resolved.
Okay, go ahead.
Your Excellency, I want us to move into security generally. There are major security challenges across this country, carrying different nomenclature. For some it is banditry, for some it's kidnapping, for some it's headers, farmer crisis, but we definitely have a huge insecurity challenge across the country. What would you say, what did we miss it? What did we do wrong? It seems to have gone worse over the past 5 years. What could we have done better?
Well, let me just address it very simply. Very simply. The insecurity or these challenges of security we are facing in the country today is not up to 1/10 of what I inherited in Kogi State when I assumed office as the 4th executive governor on 27th of January 2016. Today, the problem has been brought under control, largely. We have the issue of farmers' headers in Kogi State. We had it. It's been controlled. We have the issue of communal clashes. It's been controlled. The issue of even ISWAP and some of these Boko Haram cells were existing in Kogi State. It has been brought under control. In fact, we have chased them, routed them out completely. In fact, at a point we had ISIS cells in Kogi State. We rout them out. My dear sisters and dear Nigerians, if we want to tackle the issue of insecurity in this country, then let's drop politics and face the challenge head on. We will solve it within a twinkle of an eye.
Please, share what you did. We would love to hear from you. How, and I know that to a large extent what you're saying has a bit of the truth to it, because we know the crisis that you inherited. So what exactly did you do? What are the strategies? Some governors would watch this and it would be solutions for them to implement.
All governors are trying their best. The federal government are trying their best. But this is what I did. I apply sincerity. I am straightforward. I'm decisive. I deal with criminals wherever they come from. I don't criminalize ethnicity or race. I get the people involved. I ensure that the law enforcement agencies existing in my state have synergy and cooperation, and information sharing mechanism were strengthened. I encourage the law enforcement agencies. I build confidence in the minds and souls of the citizens of Kogi State, so they volunteer information. I ensure that they take security as their business number one, daily, every hour, every second, and they cooperate 100% with law enforcement agencies. I ensure that politicians don't politicize insecurity in the state. If we discover, we deal with you decisively and squarely. And that is why we're having it good, at least to a very large extent, in Kogi State today.
Your Excellency, let me ask you this question, because it was quite popular that Sheikh Gumi had advised that the bandits deserve some kind of amnesty, especially because we've given amnesty to other sectors, other criminals in different parts of the country. Do you think there is reason in what he has said? And do you, being the governor that you are and the fact that you've been intimidating with all these people, do you think he has reason to say they deserve some kind of amnesty?
If the banditry we are experiencing in the north today is different from the agitators in the down south.
Thank you, sir.
That is number one. Number two, probably he is putting it wrongly or not in the right perspective. Today, it is generally assumed that those that carries arm or that are carrying arm against the state were Fulanis, their cattle have been rustled, there's no more grazing areas and what have you, their cattle can no longer graze, and they died or they sold them off or they are being rustled and what have you before, and then they took arms against the state. That is criminality. That is number one. Number two, I will not negotiate with criminals. You come to my field, I meet you on the field, I take you out. That is number one. Number two, but that is not to say that genuine Fulani people, genuine headers, genuine livestock keepers should not be assisted. For crying out loud, if banks can be bailed out, if airlines can be bailed out, if other businesses can be bailed out, why are we not bailing out the livestock keepers and ensure that we don't play politics with it? Let us invest heavily in livestock keeping in Nigeria. We're consuming heavy meat, a large tons of meat every day. Milk are still being imported, and all other allied products are still being consumed daily in Nigeria. Some of these cows are even being imported from outside the country through the north and then taken down to south. Why can't we invest heavily in it? And every day we're in the media playing politics, over it. Whoever is ready to go into this livestock keeping, please, for crying out loud, let the authorities assist them and bail them out.
Yeah. Okay.
So that whoever is carrying arms again against the state can be dealt with decisively.
Yeah, so Your Excellency, there's something that really bothers me when it comes to this issue of constant kidnapping across the north of children. They'll take them from schools, take them through the forest for days before they finally hand them over. And I wonder, do you think our security operatives and our military is very well versed in the geography of the forest? Do they understand all the ins and outs of the forest? Do we have forest guards? Because I mentioned this also because there used to be a time the forest surrounding Kogi State was like a dreaded place with criminals and all sorts of things. Was there any body that you put in place specifically to protect the forest and stop, the use of the forest for criminal activities?
First of all, let me start from Kogi State. Of course, when we came on board, we employed forest guards, trained them, and they are doing their job excellently well, of course, in addition to what we have done earlier, like I said. See, my dear sister, every inch of the land cannot be protected by law enforcement agencies. But let me tell you, people own those lands. Go to any part of this country today, however thick the forest is. Just start peasant farming. In less than a week, in fact, within one day, within 24 hours, you see the owners of the land, they will come in there and ask you, who gave you this land to farm on? So if you're telling me that bandits will come and carry children in their numbers, either through the bush, through footpath, or on the road, by truck, machine, or whatever, and there's no information, there's a lot to question.
So do you think the government is complicit in this?
I don't believe.
Do you think the government is complicit? And the
at all times, we continue to call government. You are part of government. The people in the street are part of government. Those in the villages are government. But how much have we instilled confidence in them to make reports? And look, our law enforcement agencies are not that weak as it is being portrayed to fight these crimes and criminalities. Just political will. And when I say political will, I'm not just referring to Mr. President, to the governors, or those that are in office today, including traditional rulers, religious leaders, various groups, ordinary citizens in the streets, or along the streets, or in the villages. Political will. Let people volunteer information. Come out. Because if you say you can't talk, or you don't want to talk, the same crime will still consume you. Come out and speak out.
Right.
And there will be help.
Governor Yahaya Bello, final question for you. There was a time you granted an interview and you kicked against the fact that the country wanted to get COVID-19 vaccines. Now we have the vaccines. Are you willing to take them? Will you be taken?
In Kogi State, we had outbreak of yellow fever twice that I can remember. For the second time that the yellow fever wanted to struck, it did not succeed. First one, we controlled it without making noise about it. And what did we do to prevent a further outbreak was to vaccinate the people. And we went around the state and vaccinated those who feel they want to take the vaccination. And those who took it were never struck again when the yellow fever struck. So I vaccinated the people. I believe in vaccine. But let me tell you, issue of medicine, there's no compulsion in it. I cannot be compelled to take vaccine if I don't want to take it. If I feel I'm healthy enough, if I'm good enough, and I don't want to take it, I wouldn't take it. Even people are free to take their life if they want to take it. Even though it is a crime, we will not allow that to happen. But let me tell you, I am not going to compel anybody to take the vaccine. Whoever wants to take it is free to take it.
But would you receive it in your state,
I will not
sir?
compel anybody.
Would you receive it, sir?
Of course, anything that is meant for the state, I will receive it.
Okay.
And I'll make it available to the citizens.
We can't let you go without asking about accidents within your area. Kogi State is a major conduit transit location. It's the confluence states, Lokoja, Felele Junction, Okene Road. These are roads that link most of Nigeria, but heavily under badly maintained. What are you doing as a governor to push the federal government to do what needs to be done within those areas, considering the number of accidents that are taking place at Felele Junction?
I thank you so much for bringing up this particular issue. I have paid several visits to the Federal Ministry of Works and my dear friend, the Honorable Minister, former Governor Fashola. And he has promised severally to do something. He is doing his best, but within the limited resources, I think he is doing his best. And we will only use this opportunity once again to appeal to him to do more. The roads are bad. I apply the road every day. We don't have airport in Kogi State. And there's no more than 90% of people that fly the north and south and vice versa come through Kogi State. However smooth the roads are in down south or far up north, if the Kogi roads, especially the federal roads that crisscross the state, are not fixed, it's not helping matters. In fact, there has been several accidents. One just happened just about 2-3 days back, and a lot of properties were destroyed, and at least I think 2 lives were lost, unfortunately. So we've been pleading with the federal government, and I believe that Governor Fashola is doing his best to ensure that the roads are fixed.
All right.
But there's paucity of fund. I'm sure that is what is stopping them.
We have to run up at this time, sir. Well, thank you, Your Excellency, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you.
I appreciate you, and please let me use this opportunity once again to call on Nigerians that we must look at ourselves as one. The catastrophe we just averted was going to be something that we couldn't have been able to bear. And there are people that are waiting by the side to cash on it, cash on people's misfortune. We have solved it, and we are solving it. Problems of this nature, little that could snowball into something large tomorrow, should be tackled immediately. Right. We shouldn't play politics about it. We shouldn't make capitals out of it. And I want to appreciate the northern youth, all youths across the country, our southern counterparts, who embrace this unity and peace that Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari continue to preach. Nigeria will be great. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
That's all we can take on that segment. We're going to break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So joining us on the show is the Director and Chief Executive Officer of Abuja's biggest estate development company, T. Pompey Concept Limited, Mr. Akintayo Adaralegbe, to discuss his unique selling point on the land development and estate business. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, I can hear you. Good morning.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
So you've been trending lately that there was a video that went round saying that showing you giving out money to some headers, and there were assumptions that were made. Could you help us clarify exactly what that video was about and why it trended so much?
Yeah, I think people are just being mischievous about circulating the video, because the video that came out from our company is it explains itself better, because we put it on the on our page, that lives and let's live in peace together. That is the title we give to it, and we make as the video. These are the. Can you hear me?
Okay, it's clearer now. Better.
Yeah, I'm talking about the video and the headings we give to the video. That is live and let's live together in peace, because these are the Fulani settlers that were on our plot, and we want to make use of the plot. I think we should be human enough to make sure we resettle them and they move on with their life.
Right.
So funny enough, I didn't know why people were misconstruing what's in that video, because obviously many real estate companies do this. For you to have peace, you have to resettle people that are squatting on your land. But would you say that it maybe was ill-timed, or because of the tension of the society, of what is going on in the environment now, that made them malicious people twist what the video was showing?
If you look at the video, a lot of people are even muting the voice there on the video. Some will just mute, and some will even screen much the payment, the only payment aspect of it, showing Fulani and showing showing us giving out the money. I think they are just trying to. I don't know what they are turning social media to. I don't know.
Okay, so it's obvious you are on TV trying to clear your name and clarify the situation. And I think it's very important that you do that. So is there anything specifically you would like to say to anyone out there who may have viewed it or about to view it, that particular video?
Yeah, it's not even only about it's not only about me trying to clear myself, but I think we should be living in peace with our fellow person. It's normal, and this is a lesson to every one of us. Let's believe we are no one is a second citizen in this nation. We are even if it is a chaos somebody puts, let's assume it's not even a mod. It's a lesson to other people and to other developers. You must learn how to settle with people in peace. So now, if we don't do that, we will now be disturbing security agency. We will just take a bulldozer there and be demolishing their houses, and people will now be coming out. There is crisis somewhere. There is crisis somewhere. Why? There are so many things we need to do to help this nation together, and I think it's not bad. So it's even a means of advice to other people, not only the estate developer. Right. If you are using any of your thing or any of your property, and if you come across people there, treat them the way you want to be treated. Treat them the way you want to be treated. And you can see we are all laughing there. They told me, my engineer was even saying what they used to pay some people are 50,000, 30,000, and I called them. I have to call their chairman. The chairman, come. What do we do? They said it's 250. They want to call it, and I said, chairman, talk. He said, okay, give us 200,000 per hut. You know, it's a mod this thing, and I agree. So
okay.
We're all laughing.
All right, I'm told we have Mr. Femi. Yes, I'm told we have Mr. Femi Adebayo here also. He's one of your ambassadors for T Pompey Concept Limited. Mr. Adebayo, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Adebayo. Good to see you.
Yes.
You're in the building. Oh, good to have you. Right.
Yes, I am.
So, tell us about T Pompey Limited and your relationship with them.
Okay, first and foremost, I'm happy to be here. You know, T Pompey Concept, it's a real estate company in Abuja for now, and I'm an ambassador to the company. Okay, I decided to pitch my tent with the company after finding out their reputation, their integrity, and their customer service. And I've been with them for over 2 years now. And I can say that they are worth, partnering or doing business with. So the issue of this settling the Fulani guys, that has been their practice over the years, and this is to ensure that the subscribers to their, properties have peace of mind on their land, So I don't see any big deal in what we have actually, but just like Radhi said, I think it's ill time. It's what is actually going on that made them attach so much importance or what would I call it to this present act from T Pompey.
Right. Yes. So I would like to know because we have, first of all, we have a lot of real estate companies. They are springing up every day. We have so many of them. Yeah. What makes T Pompey Concept stand out? What are some of the things that make you one of the biggest, like we heard?
I think we'll take that to Mr.
Okay, first and foremost is our title. It's a title to our property. T Pompey ensures that if you are buying land from T Pompey, then you're very sure that you have a certificate of occupancy title, which is the highest title in Nigeria. T Pompey also makes sure that you're buying at an affordable rate. And it is only T Pompey that, cares about the future. Thinks and tell you that, okay, come and buy a land for your kid. And in the next 20 years, the kid would, have access to the land and it would have automatically appreciated. So it's like you investing like a sum of 400,000 naira in your child. And when he's 18 or 21, it turns maybe millions of naira. You can imagine, So the customer service, the title, can you hear me?
Yes, very clearly. Very clearly.
Yeah, those are the things that make T-Pompey extremely unique and, stand out from other developers.
Let me come to Mr. Daralegbe. Sir, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Tell us a bit about your packages.
We have a lot of packages. We don't have one. We've been doing it for the for a period of for a while now, and we have a lot of because in every year we bring about new packaging and new packages to our products, and we have a lot of things we are bringing out, and we make sure there is no aspect of life we don't touch. He just talked about the kiddies, and we have for everybody. We rent to own. So we've done a lot. Then we have in all part of Abuja, because presently we are in Abuja, and we make sure we are grounded there, like Gusape, Kiami, Wawa, Katampe, Kuje, all over Abuja. We have a lot of this thing there, and we've been doing well there.
You've already answered my question, because I wanted to ask you, where's your main location, which is Abuja. Good. Do you develop, or are you selling land alone? Are you building on those lands? What are the level of infrastructure that would attract people to different locations you have within Abuja?
We do both.
Okay, so there's on your site, sometimes I see discounts, 40% discount, 50% discount. How often do you do these discounts so that people can come and make use and enjoy them when that happens?
We come up with promo every year. Okay. We come up with promo every year. Then we're still working on. So even there is one of our places we are planning. The other side, there is one part of Abuja we are trying to go, and we're bringing up a very good promo there, the Akurudu side, and we have a lot coming up, and I don't want to let this thing out of the cooler now.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much, Mr. Daralegbe, for coming to share with us this morning. And I wanted to play the video, but I think it's not necessary anymore, because you've explained to us already that it was misconstrued. Thank you also, Mr. Adebayo, for joining us this morning. We appreciate both of you on the show. Let's go on a quick break.
Thank you very much for having me, and please ensure you patronize T-Pompey, because you will be happy at the end of the day.
How many houses have you gotten from them, Mr. Adebayo? T-Pompey.
I have two presently.
From them?
I have two in Nigeria, in Abuja presently, yeah.
Wow. Fantastic, all done. Okay, cool. Let's go on a quick...
affordable.
Yeah.
Let's go on a quick break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have the CEO of T-Pompey Limited. So are you still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yes. So we wanted to know exactly when are they coming to Lagos, and how soon can we see some of your packages in Lagos?
Very soon, because wherever we are, we always didn't feel that we are grounded there. Then secondly, we make sure we are sure of the title before we call people come. But now, as it is, we're still working on all other places, not even only Lagos. We are working on some other states of the Federation, but very soon we will be rolling out. But where we are, we thank God we are grounded. Even right behind you there, everybody knows T-Pompey, and we're only in Abuja. So, but we are moving all our this thing out of so many states of Federation very, very soon.
Okay, my question is for Mr. Femi. So since you became a brand ambassador, what sort of influence have you brought to T-Pompey? T-Pompey concept. Have you brought plenty markets? How has it been?
Well, I think T-Pompey should have answered that question. But to the best of my knowledge, like he told me, that I've been able to influence the growth of the company with not less than 40% or 50%, like he said.
Wow.
And I've been getting wonderful feedback from my fans that one of the major brands that I represent that they love their customer service and their product is tea pumpy. And that is why at any point in time, I eat tea pumpy, I drink tea pumpy, I shout tea pumpy. You know, when you see integrity, when you see integrity, you associate
Is there a website
with
we
it.
can go to?
So,
how do we reach out to tea pumpy? Because we're hearing the name, we don't have the name, number, website, Instagram page. Is there, how do we reach out to tea pumpy?
They have it's www.tpumpyconcept.com and of course on the social media, Instagram, Facebook is the same thing. Tpumpy _estate.com, and that's the address on IG and all. Then of course at they are number 12 Morovia Street, we say to in Abuja. You know, so when you just check them out, you see all the information. Trust me, you can be very, well assured that you are not doing business with a set of people.
We have to go.
Yeah.
Mr. Daragbe, are you still there? Thank you so much. Where did you get that name, tea pumpy?
Thank you.
Tea pumpy Gagana. What is tea pumpy?
It's a story for another day.
Okay. All right. We'll find out. We'll call you and find out. All right. Thank you so much very much.
Thank you.
Okay, see you. Have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye for now.